everyone. I want to talk about the dead, those who left this world. So, I want to talk about my experience with the dead. Like everyone else, I never knew what happens after people die. If we just cease to exist, if we go somewhere, where do we go? What happens? Something, nothing, don't know. Until it happened to me. I'm not talking about death, I didn't die. No, I didn't have a near death experience, nothing like that. But for some time before this happened, I was praying, whoever is up there, and this was before I came to Christ, whoever is up there, please, I want to know, I really want to know what happens after death. Does something happen? Does nothing happen? I want to know. Please show me a sign. And so in 2011, I had this girlfriend from the south of Morocco. We just met that summer. We just knew each other for like a month, maybe a little bit over a month. And her father was very sick. He had cancer, and he was in the hospital. Now I never met him. He never met me. So since a long time, I was into herbal medicine. So I didn't really trust, and I still don't, this chemotherapy and all this kind of stuff. So I gave my girlfriend at the time some tips and some herbs that she could give her father to hopefully get better, or at least help him some way. So she did that, and she came back to me and said, "Hey, my father really appreciated you for trying to help him." And I said, "Oh, really? Like, what happened?" She was like, "Well, I took the herbs to him, and he was like, 'Where did you get this from? Who did someone? I mean, because this is new. She never did that before." And then she told him about me. "Oh, I have this someone I know, you know, who wants to help you and told me to bring you these herbs." And he was really touched by that. And he started to pray for me and started to bless me and ask, telling her, such a nice young man, tell him thank you so much, may God bless him, all these things. So he never met me, I never met him. I didn't, the only thing I knew about him is what she told me. That's it. Never saw a picture, don't know anything else, what he looks like, anything else. So me and this girl, we keep in touch for a little while. Her life was a bit complicated, so we kind of lost touch, and we were also living not in the same city, so that made it harder to keep in touch. So after about 2 months, in my dream, I see this man, and before he speaks, I I know who he is. He doesn't even say who he is, and dreams are strange. Like you see something and you know what it is. It's just like that. It's a different dimension. But I'm like, is it him? So I'm kind of doubting myself. I'm like, really? Like, I mean, and I'm also like, how do I know it's him? I don't know it's him. So anyway, um, he tells me, "Thank you so much for trying to help me. You did all you can, and I really appreciate it. And I want to thank you personally. But I also want to say goodbye because I have to go. It's my time. I have to go. It's my time to leave. So take care and goodbye." And he just went, and I woke up. And he never said who he was, but I felt that it was her father. But being the very intellectual guy I was, I was like, nah, come on, it can't be. Like, why am I even thinking that it's him? I mean, I have no proof that it's him, but I know it's him. Like, I feel it. And I mean, he also said thank you for trying to help me. I didn't try to help anyone besides him at that time for many years. I don't even remember who I tried to help in that manner. I don't think I never actually tried to help someone who was actually dying or who was in the hospital, has cancer. That was the only case. So, anyway, I get up. This is in 2011. So I get up, I get on Facebook, my computer, and then the aunt of my girlfriend at that time contacts me. She's online at that morning, and she's like, "Hey, did you hear that her father, like referring to my girlfriend at the time, passed away, like during the night?" And I was surprised that I was not surprised. I was like, "Yeah, I'm aware." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, yeah, yeah, just make sure to talk to her and you know present your condolences." Sure, sure. That's all. I never said anything about the dream. And anyways, I of course spoke to my girlfriend at the time. Didn't say anything about the dream. But after a month or so, I spoke to her and I said, "Hey, I want to tell you something." Because she was in mourning. I don't want to talk about the dream or make it about me. It's not about me. It's about her and her dad. So I tell her, "Hey, I want to tell you something." And then I tell her the dream. And I tell her the man I saw. And I still remember to this day. He was thin, very thin, tall, dark skin. She's not dark skin. Dark skin, white hair, white mustache, big glasses. That's all I'm and wearing white. That's all I remember. When I said this to her, she could not believe it. She was like, "You just described my father exactly." Wow. And then I start to ponder on this. What's going on? Because you see, I was always someone who was skeptical of everything. But I was also at the same time someone who's open and available to know the unknown. Somehow, I don't know. Come across something, have an experience, I don't know, something confirmed, I don't know. I was just open for something to come my way and then analyze it somehow. And this happened. So, mind you, even when this happened, I was still very skeptical and I dismissed it as a coincidence. Come on, it's just a coincidence. Maybe I just thought about him and dreamt him up, and then it just coincided with his death. But the next year, I had another dream. This time it was the mother of the lady who helped raise me. Her name is Fatima. This lady who raised me, her name is Fatima. Her mother is Aisha. Mother Aisha, we call her, or Muy Aisha in Moroccan Arabic. And I didn't see either Muy Aisha or Fatima for 6 months. I didn't see anyone else from their family, nor speak to anyone else from their family for 6 months. I mean, she was an old lady, but she was talking, and she knows me. I know her. She likes to tease me. She likes, she's kind of forgetful, but she's very sweet. Very sweet lady, and she really likes me. She always likes to tease me and laugh with me, and I know her for many years. Her daughter Fatima raised me since I was a little baby. So I'm not an orphan. I have my own parents, but Fatima was in our house. She was the housekeeper, and my mother was very busy, so Fatima took care of me ever since I was born. And I've always been closer to her than my own biological mother. I only got closer to my biological mother when I was in my 20s. Yes. I never was nearly as close to my biological mother than to Fatima. Me and Fatima were inseparable. She was a Muslim woman, very devout, loves God with all her heart, with all her soul, Doesn't know how to read or write, but she was the sweetest and the most loving and the most honest and the most genuine human being you will ever meet. She was beautiful, inside and out. And that's the woman who raised me. And I feel so blessed to have a woman like her raise me. So now her mother, Aisha, so this dream is about her mother. So I'm sleeping and I haven't seen any one of them for 6 months, like I said, and so I see I see Aisha, Mother Aisha, her mother, in my dream, and I never dreamt of her before. And she just comes and says, "Hey, my son, thank you so much, you know, for for being in my life, and thank you for everything. And I just came to say goodbye. I have to leave. I have to go. It's my time." And I'm like, "This is happening again with another person." She goes. I don't say anything, like the first dream. I don't say anything. They speak alone. I'm just watching, but they're talking to me. I wake up and I'm like, "What is going on? What am I gonna see next? Is this another coincidence? Is this just a dream? Because the first one, it was a coincidence. Okay, this one maybe it's just whatever." That same morning, guys, I can't even make this up, man. And I don't blame anyone for not believing me. I don't blame anyone even for thinking that I'm lying, because that's how I used to think before these things started to happen to me. So I won't be offended if even someone says, "Oh man, you're just lying. You're just doing this for the clicks or whatever." I really will not be uh, offended. That morning, her grandson, who I know very well, Si Muhammad, if he's watching, hey bro, the best. If he's watching, he knows because he called me or sent me a message on Facebook or SMS. I don't remember exactly, but he contacted me. I didn't contact anyone. I didn't contact people, trying to make sure. Oh, is this true? No, it's just they contacted me to tell me about the funeral because they just lost their grandmother, who they found dead in her bed that morning. Okay, I didn't say anything about the dream, and when I told this to my dad, he dismissed it as, well, coincidence. I said, "How can it be a coincidence twice?" He said, "Well, I can't believe it because if I do, then I have to believe everything the scriptures say about Moses splitting the sea, about everything," which I found very strange. But I'm like, "Hey, man, if that's your condition to believing in the scriptures, start to believe, bro, because this stuff that I'm telling you, not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. One coincidence like that, maybe. Two in a row. And mind, I never had a dream of someone coming and saying goodbye and I have to leave and then finding out that they just died. Never, never, never. So I never even had a dream of someone telling me goodbye. Period. Never. The only two times where I had this dream, a dream of someone coming to me and saying goodbye, was like came to pass the very next morning when I woke up. Someone from those people who I saw in my dream, someone from their family contacted me to say, yes, they passed away, without even knowing about my dream. Twice. The only two times I've had these dreams were the only were accurate. Like the only two times I saw someone say goodbye and they're leaving, they were accurate. Now, how can you call that a coincidence? It's not a coincidence. Like no right, no person in their right mind could say that's a coincidence. It's just too much. Anyway, the next thing I want to say about this. Fatima passed away, and I did not see her in my dream. So I don't see everyone in my dream. But I was surprised because I thought someone who's very close to me would be the first one I'd see in my dream. So you see, I'm not making this up because if I was, I would be like, oh yeah, Fatima passed away and I saw her too, and I would make up. I'm not, man. I didn't see Fatima in my dream, and I was actually surprised. Why didn't I see her in my dream? Why didn't I see her in my dream? So I was in Thailand. So she passed away on January 3rd, they told me. But they told me 2 weeks later. I had no idea. So my mom was worried and she called me. She was sending me messages. Hey Omar, I want to tell you something very important. Please call me back. So I was kind of, busy. I had a girlfriend and whatever. I was, enjoying life. I did not get any dream. I did not see Fatima in my dream. She did not say goodbye, nothing. But then later, my mom tells me that she died and that she suffocated before she died. She was already pretty sick. She had Alzheimer's and she was even though she had Alzheimer's, when she saw me, she knew who I was. But it was too painful and I didn't see her and I stopped going to see her much because it just pained me, but I still wanted to see her, but and then so I went to Thailand for a visit for like 2 months before moving there, before seeing her. So I was like, yeah, it's okay, she's there. I'll see her when I come back. She passed away before I came back. She passed away on January 3rd. I went back to Morocco on January 19th. So as you can imagine, it was a very hard time for me. I cried, cried a lot. Was very heartbroken that I wasn't able to say goodbye. And I didn't even see her in my dream. And I was wondering why. But something was telling me those who die suffering or their souls are tormented, I will not see. I only see those who die peacefully and who are leaving to a better place, which was already something that's hard to accept. Because I also had another friend in 2017 who passed away, and he died the same way. He died very suffering, like sufferingly, while in the hospital. And I didn't see him in my dream. Yeah. So something very strange happened 7 months later. I don't know if this has something to do with it, if the numbers have something to do with it, but 7 months on the seventh month, on the seventh day, I think it was the seventh. Yeah, it was seventh day. So July is the seventh month. 7 months after uh, Fatima passed away, on the seventh day, I, I finally have a dream of Fatima. I see her in my dream, out of nowhere, and the dream is very strange. I'll tell you the dream. I already made a video about this, but I was really sleepy in the video. I have it on YouTube. I was like talking like this, so I don't know if anyone really cared much to watch it, which I don't blame you for. But in the dream, I saw Fatima, and me and her were in our old place where I grew up in Morocco as a teenager because we moved from when I was from before I was a teenager to when I was a teenager. Our second place where I grew up in, we would always hang out. I would always hang out with her in the kitchen, and we'd talk and make jokes, and I would tell her stuff. She would tell me stuff. That's how I grew up. Whenever I had free time, I would just go and hang out with Fatima. She was cooking, doing something, and I would just hang out with her. We'd just talk and talking about God, talking about life, talking about stuff that happens that I would like to do, that happened to her, that what she would like to do, just talking about everything and anything. We were there, and she was acting a little strange. She had a pan in her hand, and she was like preparing to cook something on it. But the strange thing she did, so it was very strange. So she did this. So so pretend this is a knife. See this wrist, this little bone in the wrist. She would do this. She would like cut some flesh with the bone, and it would just like it was like brittle and dry. And she just put it on the pan and go, shh. Kind of like using butter, but she was using like her own flesh. And I was like, "Oh, Fatima, what are you doing? Don't do that." And she was like, "Ah, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay." But the way she said it's okay, it was like I saw she was not at peace. She was like she was tormented. Hmm. Okay. So at this point, I don't even know if this is a dream or I'm just like, okay, hey, Fatima, I'm with Fatima. I don't know. I mean, it feels these kind of dreams feel very real. But I'm surprised, like, oh wow, I'm with Fatima, but like, what's happening? I'm concerned more than anything. And so her flesh is like so kind of like a how is not a zombie, but like clearly like a corpse. She's moving, she's alive, like she's like there, conscious but unconscious almost. And her body is like a corpse. She'd like cut pieces of her body and doesn't feel anything, and no blood comes out. And then I turn around, and then there's this jar of pomegranate juice. Now I don't know if this is any symbolic stuff. I'm just telling you what I saw in the dream. I have yet to to look this stuff up. Pomegranate juice on the on the table. So you know what, man? I kind of want to look it up right now because I'm kind of I don't know if it has any. Uh, does pomegranate juice have anything to do with warding off evil spirits? Because the thing is, in the dream, I asked Fatima, "Hey, can I have some pomegranate juice?" Because I saw it and I love pomegranate juice. And in the dream, I was feeling thirsty. I was like, "Oh wow, pomegranate juice, yes." And I asked her, "Hey, can I have some?" And Fatima would never like refuse to give me something that I want, especially if it's like juice or food or whatever. Like she was not that kind of person. And she kind of was ashamed to, and she looked at me. She was like, "No, I'm sorry. No, you can't. I'm sorry." And it was very strange. So and then she left the pan and she came this like my way, a little closer to the table, and she sat down there. And I was like, "Why not? What's like, what? What's the reason?" And she looked ashamed again, and she was like, "Well, that's 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 what I use to ward off evil spirits." I never heard this before. I never heard about pomegranate being anything to ward off evil spirits. So I'm just gonna look. I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT now just to see. I don't even know if this is true or and if this is true, I'm gonna lose my mind. No scientific or no scientific or biblical evidence supports the idea that pomegranate juice wards off evil spirits, of course. However, this belief does appear in some cultural and religious traditions. What? The pomegranate is one of the oldest known fruits that has rich symbolic meaning in many ancient cultures. It often represents life, fertility, abundance, and righteousness, not evil or exorcism. Sure. In Judaism, pomegranates are a symbol of righteousness because, according to tradition, they have 613 seeds corresponding to 613 commandments, mitzvot, in the Torah. They appear on the robes of the high priests, Exodus 28, from from verse 33 to 34, as a symbol of holiness. There's no Jewish teaching connecting pomegranates warding off evil spirits. Sure, I never heard it. What about Islam? Let's see. The Quran mentions pomegranate as one of the good fruits of paradise. Ooh. They are praised as pure and beneficial, but not linked to exorcism. Wow, my God. They are praised as pure and beneficial, but not linked to exorcism, sure. In folk belief, superstitions, in some Mediterranean or Middle Eastern folk traditions, people have used pomegranates in rituals for good fortune, fertility, and protection. Guys, I'm really shocked because that's exactly what she told me in the dream. She said, "No, no, this pomegranate juice, it protects me from evil spirits." And she did look tormented. She did look tormented, and she told me this protects me from evil spirits. I never even knew about these things that I'm just reading now. I can show you. I mean, just reading them now in Chat GPT. Folk belief, pomegranate. And so in the dream, I tell her, when she says that, I remember the next thing I said, "You know what, Fatima? No one can protect you as much as Jesus Christ." And she responded, "Jesus Christ? But he's just a prophet. He's just a man. He's just a prophet." And I said, "No, Fatima. He's not just a prophet. He is the physical image of God." I don't remember if I said anything else after that, but she was contemplating what I said, and she was like, "Oh." Because what I love about Fatima, when we were together, I mean, even if she did not agree with what I was saying, she would still listen and take it into consideration. She would never like just shut her mind and be like, "I'm not listening with to what you're saying, whatever." It doesn't change anything. Even if she was really like, I mean, there were times when she was like, "No, no, no, that's nonsense. No, I don't believe in that. Nah, whatever." But even when I kept talking, she just, she would still like show me that she's listening, like listening and pondering what I was saying. So she did not get defensive when I said that about Jesus, but she was like, oh, she was pondering it. And then after a few seconds, I was like, I told her, I asked her, are you, can you promise me that you will, I don't know if that's what I said, but I said something like that. Can you, can you tell me that you will accept Jesus Christ as your God, as your Lord and Savior? And she pondered a bit more and she turned around. She said, "Yes, I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior." And then I shook her hand and I said, "I'm so happy that you accepted Him." And we smiled at each other and I woke up. I truly believe that's not just a dream, especially after those times when I saw dead people in my dream. I truly felt like she was tormented, and I truly felt like I helped her by telling her about Jesus. That's all I wanted to share, guys. Thank you.